Hello, welcome to the channel. How are we doing? I hope we're all well, to be honest, and I hope we are all on the good steps towards recovery from, yesterday. Need I say more? But anyways, we got some things to talk about today. Today, I want to talk about certain players and the players that came before them, and I want to talk about what the difference is, what the thumbnail says, and Glimpse says this: none of your players are mediocre. And whilst you can say that for most footballers, because every footballer is a pro footballer, for City standard, they aren't good enough, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm just using another word for it. Or they aren't good enough right now. And look, it's good enough having talent coming up, but you need players right now as well. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about it all because it's a pretty hot topic in terms of our squad is getting questioned at the moment in terms of the talent and whether we've got whether half the players are good enough. I need to know. We all need to know whether these players can do it. Last season, most of them did it fine. This season, I say most of them did it fine. It came down to certain factors at the end of the day. But I just want to start by looking at the state of our current wingers versus the state of previous ones. That's merely the beginning. It's just our wingers have really changed over the last few years. In the last 5 years, our wingers have changed drastically, which of course is to be expected. You are to expect big changes to your squad because age and all that, and players wanting to leave. It's only natural for your squad to change, but it's the thing is at the moment, the numbers being pulled in by the players that have come in is nothing like the numbers that were being pulled in by the players that have left. No professional footballers are mediocre, especially in the Premier League. I did say that when I read your comment out, but to City standards, they are. I'm sorry, but they are. They aren't good enough to be for City, and so I'm using the word mediocre to define that. because of that point, a player at Southampton, if we go off that argument, a player at Southampton is good enough to play for City because they're a pro player in the Premier League, but they're obviously not. We do have some mediocre talent in our squad. Okay, and some of them can turn it around. Some have got the time. Some of them have got, years ahead of themselves to, really make a change to their form and all that. There is time to change it, but right now we can't afford giving players time. And before we didn't need to. We had young players that could deliver. Mediocre for a club that wants to win the Premier League or even get top 4. Do you agree that most of our players are now mid-table level? Do you agree? I think the thing is, with our current players, I think if we got rid of certain players, and gave them to, say, mid-table teams, I think they'd look amazing in those with those amazing players. I think they'd look amazing with those players. I genuinely do, because when you're in a league or a team that more matches your level, you look better. That's just like, it's like when you play a game on I guess FIFA on a lower difficulty. When you play on beginner, you look amazing. You might be, well, if you're playing on beginner and you've been playing for a few years, you might be amazing. You win 10-0. But then when you up the difficulty to legendary ultimate, you suddenly look bad if you're not ready for it. That's like where I'm trying to go with it, if you can catch what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Connect, but I'm done with Jack Grealish. I'm done with him. 100 million, can't beat first man on 2 corners. Hasn't scored in over a year now. Yeah, there is. I'm going to bring up Jack Grealish in the stream. I play on Legendary. And I have got something to say about the career mode in a minute, because, of course, feel free to check out the. I know. There's been so many rival fans. I've got on my live stream, I got some fans just saying stay Liverpool there and then United. It is quite laughable. But on your comment here, I'm sorry, Connect, I'm done with Jack Grealish. Done with him. 100 million, can't beat first man on 2 corners, hasn't scored in over a year now. I see where you're coming from. Of course I do. As much as I really like Jack Grealish, I think he looks like such a decent guy. Looks like a good laugh and all that. But we can't be having good laughs, and I'm sorry, unless this guy has a turnaround of the century, just absolutely turns it around now, then he's out in the summer for me as well. That's the thing. All because of fraud Pep. It half is, but Pep Guardiola is far from a fraud. Absolutely. What's changed? For these stupid idiot rivals who have the top four club, it's success. It looks like top 4 for all 5 seasons, and they all say Pep deserves to be sacked. Oh, I know. It's crazy, because some teams would absolutely be crying to be given to have where we are in the league, not to have our form. We are quite literally, by the way, on the worst form in the league. Since November 1st, we have brought in the least amount of points on average, which is 0.57. Embarrassing for us, but it is what it is. But yeah, it really is laughable. People saying top 4. People saying Pep needs to go. Look, no, he doesn't. He absolutely doesn't. And if he signed another contract extension now, I'd be relatively happy. Amorim outclassed Pep yesterday as well. Pep was set up for a Rashford Garnacho, but Amorim didn't play him. I know, and can I just say, Amad Diallo, he was brilliant yesterday. He was really good, all things aside. Still miles better than Hull, I know, but there are standards. We're better than every team in the Championship, I hope. Man, that was a nice goal. Like unless it was a stroke of luck from Amorim, but I don't think it was. The fact that he didn't even put them on the bench is what surprised me. Not playing them, sure, it could be tactical, but I thought not even on the bench. What, something gone on? Is it someone injured or something like that? But no, it wasn't injury, the best assumption we have is that it was tactical, unless it was discipline. But I don't know. I can't see it. Top 4 is success. Is the biggest BS in football, by the way. It's not success. I'd rather 10th and a trophy. Yeah. No City fans want Pep gone. The players can F off if they really have stopped playing for him. MCFC Tone says he's hearing so if we stop playing for him. If you stop playing for Pep, you can get out of the club. Yeah, no player is above Pep, and no person is above the club. If you are done playing for Pep, you're done playing for the club. Is how I look for it. Recent form decay. Red Camp, welcome to the chat. Big ups for tuning in. But yeah, the key word, if you look at the image that is being used, by the way, it's when he was world class, just so you know. If it was a picture of him in an Arsenal top performing how he is now, obviously, and a Chelsea top as well. But the season that I've got a picture of him in, he was class then. He was amazing. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you his stats. Sterling was world class. He was world class. Yeah, absolutely. Now then, I do want to show stats now of wingers, our wingers specifically. The image connected use, you got 60 GNA in that calendar year. Bingo. Big ups. So let's have a look at it. Apologies if you can't see it very well. I'm just on transfer market. Oh, dog. So, it's not fair to go off not even half a season. So, but this is it for Doku so far this season. 3 goals, 3 assists. It's been okay. It's been a bit meh. He's had okay moments. Last season, on a whole, he got 18 goal contributions. 18 goal contributions. Keep that in your mind. Keep 18 goal contributions flying in your head. Sterling. Here he is. Hello, Sterling. 160 million was his highest market value ever, by the way, so just keep that in mind. You don't get 160 million for a low season. So, what was his last year? It was this one, wasn't it? 21-22. Remember, 18 goal contributions from Jeremy Doku. 21-22. He got 17 goals alone. This was in one of Sterling's lowest seasons, by the way, for us. He got 17 goals and 8 assists. That's 7 more goal contributions on a whole on one of his lowest seasons. He almost matched it with his goals alone. And by the way, that's a goal contribution every 2 games, which is still pretty good. Mars King, though. Don't get me started. I don't agree he's playing when Man City was at his prime. He was prime with Man City. Sané is world class, not Sterling. Red Camp. Alright, I'll jump the gun a bit and I'm just going to show you. Should we go this season first? 19-20 season. 31 goal contributions. 31 goals, 5 assists. Go here. 25 goals, 14 assists. Those 2 seasons alone are world class. And 17-18, 23 goals, 13 assists. Need I say more? Raheem Sterling, for at least these 3 seasons, these 3 here, he was world class. It's not a debate. And I'll even go. I don't actually know how good he was in this season, but I'll have a look. 10 goals, 15 assists. That's more than Jeremy Doku got this season, and that was Pep's first season, a transition year. And shall we go to Sterling's first actual season at the club? 15-16, 11 goal contributions, 8 assists. That's still one more goal contribution than Doku has had in his first season. Sterling, all right, let's check this season. It's the only season we haven't checked. Sterling, in every single season he played for City, got more goal contributions than Doku has. Of course, Doku's only been here for a season and a half almost. Okay, but still, that just shows the caliber of a winger we had and the caliber of winger we dropped down to. But oh yeah, love Leroy. We'll have a look at Leroy as well. Because there's no denying he was world class. Yeah, big ups Red Camp. Look, I don't know if you're a United fan, or City fan, or whatever fan, but big ups for tuning in and interacting. Do appreciate it. Sane was at Man City for 4 seasons. Yeah, he was. What a shame. Gone too soon. But look, so Doku highest season. I know he's only been here a year and a half, but still. Doku highest season, 17 goal contributions. No, 18 goal contributions. And Sterling's lowest season was that as well. Now then, Sterling's lowest season was also his first season, and Doku's lowest season could be his first season, and so we can use that. That might come into play. Okay, that might. If Doku turns it around and starts banging in goals like Sterling did, then fair play. Okay, then he's done it. But I'd like to mention the difference was between Raheem Sterling and Jeremy Doku. Let's go 14-15. 14-15, 11 goals, 9 assists. 13-14. Come on. 11 goals, 8 assists. And 12-13. I'm not really sure how long he's been playing for, but I know it's been a while. Of course, he was probably only just breaking in here to Liverpool's team. But look, I've gone back, 12 years when he was 18. That's how far back I've gone. And I don't even know if he played the other seasons. And to be honest, they're not important. It goes to show how class Raheem Sterling was. Now then, I want to have a look at our next just subject. This one is a little bit harder. It's a little bit more unfair. Because I feel bad for him. He's only just come in and he's getting compared to a player like Riyad Mahrez. And because of that, I am going to just look at it. Look, 21 games, 0 goals, 5 assists. Okay, it's his only season at City. I'm more than willing to give Savinho time to grow. First season is always a difficult one. Savinho, I feel like it's just a confidence thing for me. I'm a City fan since 2012, mate. Big ups. Chelsea paying Sterling wages at Arsenal. That's crazy. Most transfer rumours. Most of the rumours I've been seeing is Vert signing up with Leverkusen. If true, move on and get 3 world-class wingers for creativity and sign 2 less level KDB replacements. Yeah, we need a lot. Look, the summer is going to be a weird one because we're going to bring in a lot and we're going to sell a lot. A part of me is excited, but a part of me nervous too because it means we're going to say goodbye to a lot, but it means we're going to see new faces, which is always exciting. Who's been your best player this season? There's an argument to make despite a couple of errors here and there. Vardy's in there. Nunes has gone on a good blip, and I want Nunes to work out, but I am going to bring him up. Vardy's probably in there. I guess Haaland for stats, but most of them are from August. I'm not too sure on who else, to be honest. Big ups to everyone that's tuning in. Do appreciate it. And make sure to hit the likes if you haven't already. The likes do help. They are big. Yeah, but choosing a best player for City this season is a task. But yeah, here's Savinho. Look, he's got 5 goal contributions, and I'm gonna be a bit more fair. I'm gonna go to his previous season, 11 goals, 10 assists. This is when he was a 19-year-old playing in the Liga. So, look, again, that's a pretty good year. From someone that was 19. Now then, Riyad Mahrez, an absolute beloved former City winger. Man, he's only 33. I thought he'd be slightly older. Nonetheless, an absolute beloved winger at City. Gonna find stats. Got stats for Al Ali. So when was his last year? 22-23. This was a year when Mahrez was quite in and out of the team. Quite in and out of the team, by the way. Didn't really solidify a spot at times. Did get a lot of game time, no doubt about that. It's not like we completely benched him. But, in some big games, like against United, on the bench. In a quarterfinal, on the bench. Was in all these games. A lot of these he got, and a few of these he got substituted in. He only started 22 games, which is not typical for Mahrez, I don't think. Champions League, in this big run-in, he was on the bench for 4 out of the 5 of them and only got 11 minutes in these ones. Important thing to look out for in all of this is to look at these numbers. 31 minutes, only played 31 minutes. 81 means he started the game and got subbed off later. And even in the one that, the Real Madrid game that he got subbed on in, he was only on for 11. Against Leipzig, he was on for 35, which means he got subbed on in that as well. Did play the whole game against Leipzig, this one. And he played most of those games too. Great stream so far. Big ups. Would you ever want to replace Edison? Yes. Because I don't think, as of late, the last couple of weeks have not been great. But again, that's 28 goal contributions, by the way. That's something that Jack Grealish, it's unfair on Savinho, but even Savinho last season and Jeremy Doku have yet to even hit 20 goal contributions in a season. Okay, and let's just go back a further season with Riyad Mahrez. 24 goals, 9 assists from our winger, by the way. That's 33 on a whole. Nowhere near the amount other wingers have brought in. 2021. Let's go. 14 goals, 9 assists. That's still better than Jeremy Doku. We are getting closer and closer to Mahrez's time now. 13. 18-19, he was out of the club here, wasn't he? I do believe Mahrez had a slow first season, I think. I can't remember if he had a slow first season. Nope, this was his first season because he got his first 2 goals against... Look, even if his first season was slow, okay, he got 2 goals against Cardiff here, but let's say he did have a slow first season, okay, let's just say he did. He still got 24 goal contributions, something our other wingers are yet to do. Of course, when Mahrez joined, he was already a well-established winger. He was already pretty good. He'd been balling it out for Leicester for how many years? Obviously, part of that crucial title-winning side with Leicester. So, of course, at this point, Mahrez was already a well-established winger. But again, it's I feel especially bad for Firmino, a bit unfair on Doku, but it is the difference between our wingers at the moment. Our wingers compared to what came before them are mediocre. All right, and we're gonna have a look at Jack Grealish. Hello, Jack Grealish. Look, by the way, Jack Grealish joined as a well-established midfielder. Joined for high price. Joined for high price even. Joined as a big English player with Premier League experience. Starting his first season, 21-22. 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 goal contributions. Just clicked on the same one. 22-23. This was like the big turning point for Grealish where he started playing better. He only got 16 goal contributions, which is lower than what Jeremy Docker got in his first season. Okay, the season where I really thought he was going to turn it on. 6 goal contributions, an all-time low for Jack Grealish. You know, did he get many injuries? He got an injury a couple times, you know. We did get a few injuries, which didn't help, of course. But on a whole, I don't even remember being super duper impressed. You know, a couple times it wasn't even injury. It was just assuming tactical and a suspension. And again, in big games, in some of these, he didn't get played. 6 goal contributions all time though, and you may have caught a glimpse of it a second ago. 2 goal contributions here, 2 assists in 17 games. Hasn't scored a goal in over a year. Is Grealish your most expensive transfer? Yes, he is. He is our most expensive of all time. Vardy just behind him. Was Vardy 100 million? He was more like 90, I believe. He was more like 90. 100 million player can't take a corner anymore. Oh, we're gonna. Please tell me that's important. No. But again, a sign of another mediocre winger. Yeah, I mean, look, before he joined us, he was obviously balling out for Villa. I know this isn't tons, but 17 goal contributions. And he did get a huge injury here. You know, that's a pretty big injury to get. And he got 17 goal contributions with it. With that injury. I think this was the season everyone really started to see Grealish more. 18 goal contributions, but again, he's only came near that in this season. He only came near that in this season, and bear in mind that it was more of a purple patch that brought him to that. Like this run of games kind of brought him a lot of those numbers in the first half of the season. Like barely got any. It's over half of the season. It was against Arsenal. He kind of started to get more and more. And in the cup, he got a couple goal contributions here and there, getting 3 assists. Sitter. Yeah, big ups. Gotta keep up the love for the club at this time. Vardy, Grealish, yeah, those are. Yeah, you're not incorrect there. I was thinking of the English fees, to be fair. But yeah, Vardio's more like 80 million and Grealish more like 100, which is pretty close nowadays for a fee. And you might say 20 million difference, but 20 million nowadays, you wouldn't even get a solid player for that. But again, this is another winger that hasn't really been cooking for us since joining. I do want to just see. I'm not putting anything on him, but I actually want to see Fran Torres' numbers for us, because oh man, this guy's only 24. Wow, that's crazy. I'm not really bothered about his market value. I just want to have a peek at his numbers for us. 7 goal contributions, more than our current wingers, by the way. I'm going to have a look at Leroy in a minute, by the way. You might be wondering when that's coming. His first and only full season with us was this. 2021. 16 goal contributions, again, for a first season. And bear in mind, on the bench a lot. Like, he did not get tons of minutes to begin. Only really started to get tons of minutes near the end of the season. I wonder where that Newcastle game is. Yeah, here it is. You know, he was really looking like an option for a striker, but that didn't go through because he left. But again, even though even though we let go Fran Torres, he did pull in okay numbers, and hey, he was looking really promising in the squad. So who knows how it would have gone. MCFC Connect, who do you think we should buy to rebuild our squad? Well, I've done a rebuild video already. I think you are new to the channel. If you are, welcome to the channel. But I have done a video on it already. Big ups. Is Red Camp new? Yeah, I believe he is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think everyone had a slight disdain against Sterling after that Leon miss. To be honest, yeah, that was insane to say the least. Welcome to the chat. Big ups to everyone tuning in at the moment. Appreciate it. We've got HFC vlogs in here too. But in terms of who we should buy to rebuild our squad, look, we need someone to come in to help KDB in terms of taking that mantle off him. KDB's going to leave big shoes when he leaves, whether that's this season or the next. He's going to leave big shoes. We need probably a new right back. I still feel down, says Elijah Lawson. Yeah, I get you. It's only natural. But in terms of who specifically, I'm not sure. You know, we're gonna need to let go of a centre back because of injuries. We're gonna need to let go of our right back for obvious reasons. You know, which means we're gonna need a right back and a centre back to replace. I still think we need a backup striker. I think no backup striker on Haaland is crazy. Letting go midfielders in the summer is going to be interesting. This is absolutely right on this. Absolutely right here. Vincent Kompany versus Leicester, what a moment. Sane curl. Oh, that Liverpool 5-0. Vert's signing a contract, so it's only Simmons left. And Musiala. Oh, no, Musiala's like off the table, isn't he? Bro Ramirez is a must this winter. Yeah, we need to make a big signing in the winter. We've got no choice. 1920 or 24-25. Probably 1920 to be honest. The thing is, Red Camp, ever since our current wings, I realised how good he was. Yeah, I mean, look, when Sterling left, I'm not going to sit and say I was like, yeah, it's time he dips. I wasn't really bothered. I was like, I think we'll be fine without Sterling, and for a time we were. You know, we won 2 Premier Leagues without him, and you know, we're on a 3rd season struggling without him. I don't know if that comes down to him or not, but you know what I'm saying. For a time we were, but then you look back to what we have now and what we had. I mean, in that season Sterling left, it's just it's just a moment that you wish you had back. Oh, come on. There we go. Leroy Sané. What a player. 28, by the way. He's not even that old. By the way, just to let you know, before we really get into this, had a market value of 100 million whilst he was at City. So he's on 4 goals, 1 assist this season. I'm going to have a look at his seasons with Bayern Munich compared to our wingers, by the way. So let's just go from the beginning with Leroy. I do believe it was just a bit of a slow start for Leroy, but let's have a look. 9 goals, 7 assists. Yeah, slow start. You know, still more than Jack Grealish in his first season, and more than Savinho so far, but Savinho's still got time. But again, it wasn't an electric start. Look, most City fans will always say to give wingers time when they join the club, give them the year, because it's a very difficult area to just come into and hit the ground running. 17-18, I do believe it started to pick up. Yeah, 14 goals, 19 assists. he just absolutely turned it on this season. 10 goals, 15 assists in the Premier League. He was brilliant. He was electric. He was something special. And you could see that. Got big goals, got 2 of the goals against Napoli here. Goals in so many games. Two against Liverpool. Goal and assist, goal and assist, goal and assist, goal to assists. Every time he got goal contributions, it seemed to get doubled up. He was absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. We do miss that kind of player. Oh man, the comments are actually flying in, by the way. Thank you. Big ups to everyone. I'm struggling to read them all. So big up Elijah, I still feel grim. Liam, what's up? For the attacker, I need a left winger. I'm not disrespecting Grealish here. Yeah, we need a new winger. He's in my top 3 favourite City players of all time. Riyadh, yeah, he's brilliant. Mars are cooking, bro. Oh, he's so good. He's crazy. But again, 33 goal contributions, absolutely stunning. At 21, by the way, he's 21 here. And the following season, did the same. 33 goal contributions. He was crazy. In 47 games as well, by the way. He got so many. And he was a pleasure to watch on the pitch. And this was... oh, wait, no. To be fair, not that. Look at that. It's ones. Jack Grealish, if I remember rightly, he picked up a little purple patch around here. There was no purple patch for Leroy. His highest game drought for goal contributions was 3 matches. 3 matches. They came with some of the only games we lost that season. FYI. And 4, technically 3 matches at the start of the season. But look at that. Now then, Leroy sadly got extremely unlucky in this one. Only managed to get a couple of games in. And played a little bit here. I believe something happened between Leroy and Pep towards his time near the end of the club, but he tore his cruciate ligament. So unlucky because it was against Liverpool in the Community Shield. So unlucky. In a season where we could have really used him as well. By the way, it was not a good season. But even then, let's have a look at his Bayern Munich numbers. The place he's fought, by the way. First season, more than Jeremy Doku, Savinho, and Jack Grealish have had. Of course, I know I'm saying Savinho, but being fair to him as well, I'm not really judging him there. Second season, 29 goal contributions, more than any of them. Third season, 24 goal contributions, more than all of them. Fourth season, 23 goal contributions, more than all of them. And 5 goal contributions now, which is tied with Savinho. It's 1 behind Doku, and it's more than Grealish. You see what I'm saying? The guy that supposedly flopped at Bayern is doing more numbers than our promising wingers, He still gets decent numbers. We should get Rodrigo, go for a world-class winger. I do think there is something to be said for Rodrigo. Rodrigo, he kind of gets overshadowed-ish at Real. He's obviously a really good player, and Real Madrid obviously respect him for that. But with Jude Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius ahead of him, that's the trio of Real Madrid. He's not in that trio. And look, it's tied goal contributions with Doku. If we go to previous seasons, of course, I believe he's actually had injuries as well this season. Hamstring, muscle. So he's even picked up a couple of injuries. I know Doku has as well. Let's go 23-24, shall we? It's 26 goal contributions. I feel like I'm rinsing and repeating myself with wingers at the moment. You get what I'm trying to say here? I'm trying to say that our wingers have downgraded so much in quality. over the past couple years. Of course we take gambles on transfers, but the gambles just aren't paying off. Most transfers are gambles, but we used to be good at them. That's the thing. If we don't get votes, which looks 19% chance now, sign 2 lesser players to replace KDB, but get world-class wingers. Look, I think someone said, I'm not going to go bother checking upwards, but someone said earlier, Simmons. I really like Simmons, okay? And do you know what's so good about Simmons? Yeah, here we go. Do you know what's good about Simmons? He can't just play cam, left wing, right wing. It's brilliant. He can play all over the pitch, and I'm sure you could probably train that into Vit and Musiala too if they were to join. But Simmons, he can do both. Now then, I don't know what Simmons' thoughts are on staying at PSG, but I personally think he's there to be one. I don't think he's going to want to go back on loan to Leipzig after they've already been knocked out of the UCL. I don't think he's going to want to go back to that. Simmons, there we are, 80 million on loan, of course. I'm pretty sure I read something about him leaving next season, like on a permanent transfer from PSG. But look, 5 goal contributions this season already in 11 games, which is less than Doku. That's one behind Doku, tied of Savinho, more than Grealish last season. And of course, he does play a bit more central, but like I said, actually, he's been playing more on the wings this season. So, 25 goal contributions. And 22-23. I believe this is when he was in the Eredivisie, but again, I know it's a weaker league, I guess, but that's 34 goal contributions right there. Look, he's there to be got at. He's clearly a good talent. How long's his contract? Alright, it's not telling me his PSG contract, but let's just say he joined the club officially in 2023, but then went back on loan, I know. So his contract's probably got until 2028, so it's not going to be cheap. But look, you wouldn't spend the money on Jack Grealish. Spend the money on a 21-year-old if you still want to go for a young player. Your watch longer's blown up. I know. I didn't even go that big. It's not like I raged over it. I know it was over 400 last I checked. Seriously, spend $1 billion. Do Chelsea. I don't care. Look, we have the best revenue, which means we should be able to spend the most money. We have one of the smallest squads in the league, and we keep a decent wage bill. What is this ad? I don't want this. Get out of here. We've got a decent wage bill. We got some players that are more than others, but that's because we paid the top class players the top class money. And anyone could be on that as long as they earn it, Anyway, now then, I want to just look at select other players. I want this guy to work out. The passion is there, but a day like yesterday is a reason why it probably won't work out. He's done it more than once, and I'm not going to go into it because it'll just frustrate me. But the thing is, he's too rash. He's too rash when he loses the ball, and he's too rash to try win it back. He really wants to win it back, and it's respectable that he wants to. But it's costed us 2 penalties now, and in one case, it's basically costed us the game. Do we concede 2 goals against United like that? If we don't concede that penalty, Bruno doesn't get the chance to score a pen. Do we concede 2 like that? Maybe, but we don't know because of that, and it's the only thing we can look at because of it. Despite having 9 goal contributions for us, which is probably one of our squad's highest this season, and the first season wasn't exactly pretty, 5 goal contributions. He's not been exactly a revelation at City. I think that Nunes is partly an example of mediocrity. We've been really happy that he got a little purple patch going, but I think we're at the point where we need more than purple patches. We need more than purple patches to save us. I just wanna have a look at Phil Foden real quick, a player that has always been, well, not always been. This season has only got 5 goal contributions, which is one behind Doku, which is the player I'm going in at, by the way. But let's just have a look at his 2023-2024 stats. 39 goal contributions. Now, it was a semi-slow start, but look, he was getting goal contributions almost every game. Look at that. One game without one game without one, 3 games without one, 2 games without one, 2 games without one, then one on a 3-game streak, 1 game without one, 2-game streak, 3 games, 2 games, 2 games, got 3, on the bench against these 2, got 2, got 1, got 1, got 2. He was getting, just look at that, there's a steady season of goal contributions from Phil Foden. Jack Grealish, other players, these blanks tend to be so much bigger. Is Simmons injured right now? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's injured right now. Pep needs to stop playing wingers and players in wrong positions. Yeah. Just trying to think of players we've let go. Here you go. I know we haven't exactly signed a replacement to look at Alvarez compared to our backup striker, which doesn't exist. But this season with Atletico, that's 12 goals, 2 assists. That's more goals than literally everyone else in our squad apart from Haaland. And it's probably more goal contributions than everyone else in our squad apart from Haaland. That's the top player. That's the top player for goal contributions we've let go. And by the way, this is the thing. This is the biggest thing that I'm about to show you. Julian Alvarez last season got 32 goal contributions for that. We sold that and we didn't replace it. That's the biggest crime of letting Alvarez go. Look, everyone says that we shouldn't have sold Alvarez. And to an extent, you're right. But for me, the biggest crime is not replacing him. That is the biggest thing for me. 32 goal contributions is not like a small feat. And the amount of minutes he played as well, 3,400. He played a lot of minutes and he got so many goal contributions. He had an absolutely class season last season. And we just let it go. Letting players go isn't bad, but we didn't reinvest. We didn't, because we signed Savinho before Alvarez left. We got Gundogan in on a free. We did not spend a single penny with the Alvarez money. The Alvarez money plus the rest of our summer transfer budget. If you're telling me we had a transfer budget of like 30 million, you're waffling. You've got to be. Absolutely awful. I always say how awful it is. He shows his mid-table gross. When he makes a mistake, he panics and gives away a pen. Akanji when he does, and yeah. Nunes left wing, Ricky Demeth, Cole Palmer play left wing, Bob left wing. Yeah, this was the thing. 32 G&A, and we didn't replace it. Letting it go isn't the crime. It's just not replacing it. How that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't get behind that. I genuinely can't. There's some things, little mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. No one's perfect in life. We know that. But how do you mess up that bad? I knew that, and I'm not a sporting director. You guys knew that. You guys aren't sporting directors. It should be common sense that when you look at the numbers you get rid of, you need to replace it. It is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. And God knows where we'd be without Haaland this season, because, would anyone even score the numbers that Haaland does for us? And look, Haaland's been on a dry spell, but he's still on 18 goals and 1 assist. He's still got a lot of goals. Now, he's no doubt had a bit more of a drought, but even then, a Haaland drought is still, getting a goal. For a striker, this is bad, don't get me wrong. But the gaps between his goals, they're not too huge. It's a 3-goal gap here. It's a 3-game gap here. Here it is incredible. It is phenomenal to watch. But, since then it has been a bit more dry. This isn't a period for Haaland to be exactly proud of. But just imagine we didn't have Haaland, and look, of course, if we sold Haaland, we would have replaced him. Of course, let's not get that mixed. We would have replaced Haaland, because we would have been idiots to sell Alvarez and Erling. But it's just imagine he picked up another injury. What do we do then? It's like walking into a new job straight away, having huge high standards. I feel so sorry for Viana. I know it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for him. It's a difficult job. Connect. You will know I was a pain coming in your streams every day. Over the summer complaining. Hans too lazy and comfortable because of selling Alvarez. I know. Players need competition. Okay, I don't think it's just City. I think every club needs good competition. I think every world-class striker should have a pretty good striker behind them wanting to break into the team. Okay, I think every team should have that because then players push themselves. Bear in mind there was a period of time where we had Mahrez, Sané, and Sterling at the club. That's 3 wingers. They couldn't play every game, the 3 of them. They'd have to fight for their places, and they'd still get high goal contributions. You have to earn your place. You have to keep it. I don't know what else to say. It's the perfect look at what our squad used to be. Mediocrity versus world class. Doku, Savinho, Jack Grealish, Nunes. Who else, Because there's more in there. Mediocrity. Mahrez, Sterling, and Sané, all world class for their time, and we've replaced them. I know Nunes isn't in that group, but those 3 wingers that have joined since then are City's new era of wingers. They're all not producing more than 10 goal contributions. I don't know how else to put it. It's hard to watch it happen. It is, but it's happening. It really is. It really, really is. Now then, we got a mess in the summer, of course we do, and to fix. It really is an absolute mess, but we shouldn't be afraid of letting players go if we need to. Jack Grealish for me, he's got to go. I'm willing to keep Doku, and I'm willing to keep Savinho. But I do want wingers. I want wingers in the summer. I want wingers that can produce numbers. Because if Doku can't produce numbers, okay, and Savinho can't produce numbers, and they are getting given the starting spot on the wing, then what's happening there? Why are they getting those starting areas? Bob is coming back. Bob is on the way, but we have to assess what we have right now. And hey, I don't want to be the pooper of the party. I love Oscar Bob. I loved his preseason. It was a pleasure watching him play. But for all we know, Bob doesn't quite hit the ground running because of his leg injury. I don't think Bob's just gonna come back and is gonna mug off a whole team and is gonna score a worldie. Bob's gonna need time because that's only fair. Coming back from a leg fracture / break. I don't want Bob to be, it's like I don't want Claudio Echeverri to feel that pressure. How is Echeverri doing, by the way? Because I ain't got a blinking clue. Claudio Echeverri. It's 4 goals, 10 assists. It's a long season, to be fair. But again, 4 goals, 10 assists. I know that he's had a lot more games, but that's more than our wingers so far this season. I know he's not a winger, quite clearly. He just only played on wing a couple of times. But again, this guy's 18. He's going to be 19 on January 2nd. he's got so many days and years to come. It's unfair to expect this guy to be our season turner. It's unfair to put the pressure on Bob to save us. The players that are there now should feel responsible enough to go get the job done. Because the players that are there now, they're not youngsters. Echeverry's barely been out of River Plate's academy for more than 2 years. Look, his stats don't even go back 4 years. Those two aren't going to turn the season around. It's going to come down to the players that are there. Even Rodri wouldn't save the season. Problems, but like 10% of the problems. Look, I'm going to end the stream now. 55 minutes, quite long one for a stream that isn't a game. Thank you all for the support. There's been so many comments, and I'm sorry that I couldn't read them all. You guys have really been supporting the stream from start to finish, so I appreciate that. I feel like this was a conversation that needed to be had. It's an eye-opener for some people, maybe. It's an eye-opener for me. I didn't realise how bad the stats were. Something needs to change, and sadly, something needs to change against Villa. Something needs to change in January. I want to see business done, because what is our standards for this season if we don't sign someone in January? Like, what is the plan? We need a good players, I'd hope, to come in. I feel like we're only going to get a player there. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate the support as usual. You guys are all brilliant. Big ups to you all. I'll see you in the next one.